The internet is haunted by abandoned profiles, digital ghosts of people who simply moved on, but some disappearances are sudden, deliberate, and deeply felt. A woman who was once a vital presence vanishes, accounts deleted, posts gone, silence where there was once connection. This is especially jarring when it's women who built and sustained online communities. They are the moderators, the super posters, the ones who make digital spaces feel safe and real. Their labor is often invisible, unpaid, and essential. When they leave, it's not just a personal choice, it's a sign that the internet's demands have become unbearable. Their absence leaves a hole in the fabric of the community. It raises a chilling question. What finally drove her away? For women, online life often means being perpetually available, absorbing harassment, and holding communities together. When they disappear, they take with them the warmth, history, and safety they created. The space feels colder, more precarious. Their absence becomes a whispered story, a mystery. We search for clues in their last posts, but usually, there's only silence. That silence speaks volumes about the fragility of women's presence online. It's a cautionary tale. The internet is not neutral. Power dynamics and dangers shape every interaction. The ghosts of vanished women are everywhere if we know where to look. Their stories remind us how much is built on invisible labor, and how easily it can all unravel. When a woman vanishes online, it's not just a lost voice, it's a warning. The cost of connection can be too high. The internet's ghosts are a testament to that price. Before she vanished, Mara was the heart of the woven web, a rare online sanctuary for women. The forum was simple, prioritizing thoughtful conversation over flashy design. Mara wasn't the founder, but she was its most dedicated moderator, her presence legendary. She de-escalated conflicts, remembered personal details, and made everyone feel welcome. Mara curated resources, organized book clubs, and offered support without expecting anything in return. She was the forum's librarian, therapist, and guide. For newcomers, Mara's welcome made the space feel safe and special. She understood that safe spaces require constant, active care. Her dedication was the invisible scaffolding holding the community together. Mara's presence was a promise. Here, women's voices mattered. She built solidarity and refuge in a world that often offered neither. Her labor made the woven web a true home. And when she disappeared, the loss was felt everywhere. Mara's moderation was a masterclass in invisible labor. She spent hours deleting spam, mediating disputes, and shielding the community from trolls. But her work was more than technical. It was deeply emotional. She read stories of trauma and injustice, offering support and resources. This constant exposure to pain took a toll, especially with no formal support. Her strength was assumed infinite, her labor taken for granted. As a moderator, Mara held authority, but wielded it with care, always accountable to the community. The pressure to be perfect was immense. In her final months, her posts grew shorter, her warmth strained. These were signs of burnout, but few noticed. The community kept drawing from her strength, unaware it was running out. Her labor was so seamless, its cost became invisible. When Mara began to fade, the cracks were there, but hidden in plain sight. The well was running dry, and no one saw it coming. The end began with a single, baffling post. Late one night, a thread appeared, just a jumble of code and encrypted data. Only a handful of users saw it before it vanished. Some thought it was spam, others saw patterns, coordinates, dates, maybe even a virus. The post lasted 15 minutes, then disappeared without explanation. No moderator note, no thread closed, just gone. This was unusual. Mara and the team were always transparent. The silent, surgical deletion only deepened the mystery. Was it a threat, a message, a mistake? Theories flew, but all attention focused on Mara, the only one with the power to erase it so completely. The post's strangeness unsettled everyone. It broke the forum's unwritten rules of human connection, and it marked the beginning of Mara's own erasure. Mara's deletion of the cryptic post was her final act. Was she protecting the community from a real threat, or shielding herself from something personal? The speed and silence suggest both possibilities. Maybe she neutralized a danger before it spread, or maybe the post was a private threat, forcing her to erase it, and herself. Either way, the act was total. The post vanished, and Mara began to disappear. Her silence left only questions, and the first step toward her own vanishing. After the deletion, Mara's presence vanished. Her profile icon disappeared, her status went gray, and she stopped responding. No farewell, no explanation, just silence. The other moderators were left in the dark, scrambling for answers. Publicly, they urged respect for Mara's privacy. Privately, they worried for her and the forum's future. Days turned to weeks, and Mara's absence grew. Threads she started went unposted, spam lingered, and the forum's tone shifted. Members refreshed her profile, hoping for a sign. A "thinking of Mara" thread filled with memories and questions. Eventually, her account was deleted, her posts now attributed to guest. Mara hadn't just logged off, she erased every trace of her decade-long presence. The community was left to grapple with the mystery of her disappearance. The Guardian was gone, and the void was absolute. Mara's disappearance sent shockwaves through the woven web. The forum, once vibrant, became consumed by her absence and the mystery of the deleted post. Without Mara, conflicts simmered longer, and the sense of safety faded. Longtime members drifted away, taking history and warmth with them. Newcomers never knew the old culture. The web began to unravel. The incident sparked overdue conversations about the pressures on moderators, especially women. Members realized how much they'd taken Mara's work for granted. Some tried to step up, but her passion was irreplaceable. Today, the forum is quieter, more cautious, a shadow of its former self. Mara's absence is a permanent reminder of the fragility of digital spaces. Mara's story is about the crushing weight of emotional labor online. Women like her manage emotions, mediate fights, and absorb trauma to keep communities human. The internet intensifies these demands, with no boundaries or off switch. For Mara, the forum was always on. And so was she. This relentless exposure leads to burnout and distress. Women in authority face harassment and are expected to be endlessly nurturing. Mara's disappearance shows what happens when the well of care runs dry. Emotional labor is not infinite. Women are not tireless machines. When a community relies on one person's unpaid work, it's unsustainable and exploitative. Mara's story forces us to confront the hidden costs of our digital lives. Who is doing the work to make our online worlds habitable, and at what price? Years later, Mara's disappearance remains unsolved, a modern ghost story. Was she a hero, a victim, or both? The ambiguity haunts the community. Her self-erasure is the most profound silencing, a burden so heavy, vanishing was the only escape. Mara's story is a lesson about the unseen toll of protecting others online. Her absence is a constant hum, a reminder of the human cost behind safe spaces. The mystery isn't meant to be solved, its power lies in what we'll never know. Mara drew a final boundary, reclaiming her private self. All that's left is the echoing silence of a guardian who is no longer on watch.